Peace, everyone, and welcome to the Metaphysics of Love and Relationship podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jazz the Medium, and I'm here with my other host.
Juice, the metaphysical in the building. You know, Juice stand for joyful, universal, intelligent, carefree, and emerging. You feel me? So had to come up with a little acronym for Juice. How y'all feeling?
I'm well. I am Beauty by Bang. London.
Y'all gonna introduce yourself?
Mr. Dark Matter.
There we go.
It's been a long time.
Y'all see my baby wanted to say hey.
Oh, tell her I said hi.
Peace to the star. Peace to the star team.
She came in here eating chicken, real black. Huh?
She started eating meat.
She's eating meat just for today. She said she'll be back to not eating meat tomorrow.
Okay. So it's been a while.
So I know. London.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the end of relationships. Like, what was your breaking point? You know, were there any hints or red flags that kind of let you know that it was leading up to the end? We'll go ahead and start with Juice.
And we all been in relationships where there was a breaking point. If you're a person who live in lust, in the energy of lust, of course you're going to ignore the red signs, the red flags, because your energy is coming from a standpoint of lust and not like universal unconditional love. So a lot of times we ignore the red flags for human reasons and not looking at yourself at a higher self or your God self. So when you look at yourself or you resonate on that frequency of your lower self, you ignore the red flags just to fulfill whatever desires that you want fit in your life. But like sometimes it's the end of the road, like Boys to Men, it's the end of the road, and a lot of times we try to ignore it, and people wonder why they constantly go through friction and chaos in a relationship, because the universe is giving you signs that you need to wrap it up, but people try to hang on for whatever reason.
What do y'all think some reasons are that people try to hang on to relationships that probably should have ended? Beauty by Banks, you got any reason?
The reason why people hang on to relationships?
But even when like a lot of times we stay knowing things should have been over a long time ago, or it should have been over,
I think that people stay for children a lot. I know a lot of people that are in relationships just for children because they think like, being together is going to be more beneficial for the children than being apart. Me personally, I don't agree with that, only because I've been in a situation like that where I was in an abusive relationship and I literally tried to stay for my child and it was just not working. But I think that's like a main reason why people stay.
I agree too.
I agree.
Any other reason you think people might stay when the relationship should be over?
Financial reasons. A lot of people, the economy is hard. You know what I mean? Like when you merge your finances with somebody, y'all live together. When you break up, sometimes it's hard to just be like, get back out there on your own. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people stay for financial reasons too, which I understand that.
Especially if you're sharing the lease with someone, if y'all on the lease agreement together, and then you stand with each other to the lease up. That's a perfect example. Another reason why people stay in a toxic relationship and don't want to leave because the fear of being alone, and it's the fear of the unfamiliar. Like a lot of times we so used to the familiarity and everything that we don't want to step on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Because that mystery of meeting someone else could be scary to some people. So they're just used to that. They're used to what's familiar to them. That's why they stay in that relationship, because of the fear of not just being alone, but being with someone else. You know, so
Yeah, or some people just don't want to start all over.
facts.
Yeah, I think though that sometimes you have to change your thinking or behind that though. Like I think if you're thinking about it like, dang, I gotta start all over, like that's gonna be the energy you put behind it. But if you're thinking like, dang, like okay, I'm starting anew, I'm about to create something better for myself, I'm about to be in a better environment, I'm about to get healthy, you know, mentally, like I think that'll kind of help when you're trying to leave those type of relationships that are extremely hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you think about it like, oh dang, like woe is me, like I don't know what I'm gonna do, I don't want to start over, like it's gonna make it 10 times harder to leave when you know like you need to leave. But I think that like my opinion, like 60% of people in relationships don't want to be in them. That's just my personal opinion.
And when you try to force it, like you're trying to force that connection, and you know that connection being faded away, but you're trying to like, you know, you're going the opposite of going with the flow and letting things happen naturally and organically. That's when you also know it's like it's time to, you know, end it all, because you shouldn't force anything. Everything should come freely, you know, and that's how we should express energy in this world. It should be freely and not by force. So anytime you try to force anything, that's a clear indicator like it's it's not meant to be anymore, you know. So every
I
relationship
agree.
every relationship is experience anyway. So we should look at a relationship as just an experience, you know. Every relationship ain't meant to be forever. So a lot of relationships are lessons. So you just gotta take the lesson with the relationship, and if you're attuned and conscious, you add them lessons and grow through it. You know what I'm saying? So when you get into another relationship, like you done apply them lessons and things like that. So your next relationship should be more prosperous, more healthy. But when you ignore the lessons, then you go continue to attract them same chaotic, destructive relationships. So you just really like moving one energy to the next without trying to upgrade or excel, you know. So
I agree. I think that when I hear people say like relationships are hard, I don't agree with that. I think if a relationship is hard, then it's not the right relationship for you at the time. Because I think that when two people are in a relationship and it's something that they both want, it's not going to be hard to compromise. It's not going to be hard to listen. It's not going to be hard to, you know, communicate and have the tough conversations. I think that like when people don't really want to be in it, then it's hard and it's work. But I just don't believe that like a relationship that you're supposed to be in, meaning like you're both in alignment, I just don't think it's hard work.
I think that sometimes, you know, when it's two different people together, whether y'all want to be together or not, I think you have problems. You have issues, and y'all have to work through those issues. And sometimes working through those issues, you got to hear things you don't want to hear, or you got to hear things that hurt, or you have to tell them things that hurt. So even though, you know, most of the time a relationship is supposed to be in alignment, y'all supposed to get along, I do believe that there are times where you're going to have to work through some issues. And I know that in my experience and even relationships that I've talked to people about in long relationships, yeah, they had a great this many and that many years, but there were problems on that line too, you know.
right.
There were things that happened that caused them to bump heads, you know. Then there may have been times where they felt like they almost wanted to walk away or anything like that, but you know, issues arise because you're dealing with two different people on their own separate paths trying to come together and make something work. And it could be two different people with two very different upbringings. A good example, I can like Tish, me and your friendship. For the most part, we get along. You know, we've been friends 30 plus years. For the most part, we get along. But sometimes along that line, we've had our issues that we've had to sit down and hash out. Or, you know, you've had to tell me things that hurt me that were truths, or I had to tell you things that hurt you that were truths. But, you know, but we were able to work through those things.
And I've never felt like my friendship was hard with you. even though we have had those issues and things that we've had to work through, it's never felt like hard. We've had to have difficult conversations, but that's what I mean when I say like a relationship. I don't think for me at this point in my life, it shouldn't be hard. Like I welcome the hard conversation.
Your perception, what do you think hard looks like?
Like I don't think you should be arguing every day. Like I don't think I need to be crying every day. I don't think we need to be yelling every day. I don't think everything got to be an argument. You ain't closed the refrigerator, now I ain't talking to you for 5 days. Like that's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's hard. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't think that we need to be at each other's throat all the time. Like if so, this ain't for me. Not at this point in my life. I'm not doing that. Like we gonna talk about it. We gonna work it out, but we ain't about to be up in here arguing and fighting every day. Like that's hard.
Phrase when I meet somebody.
We got so much other stuff we gotta be fighting. We ain't about to be fighting each other. That's hard.
Maybe I don't argue.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. I don't argue. We can sit down and we can talk about this.
Right. You ain't about to be yelling at me. You ain't about to be disrespecting me. You ain't about to be calling me out my name. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to be no bitch. You ain't about to be no nigga. Like, we ain't about to be doing that.
If we come to that one day, if it get heated,
we don't know that. You ain't about to, you know what I'm saying, be withholding the dick for me. We ain't about to be not fucking. Like, nah, that's hard. Nah.
I ain't doing that.
I'm gonna get in this kitchen and cook. We gonna fuck. We gonna laugh it off. We gonna work through it. But we ain't about to be going through that. We too old for that. We too old for that.
Come on now. It might be that way. He might make you mad and you don't want to. You don't want to. You ain't in the mood. Don't talk to me right now. It's okay.
Nah, that's looking real immature-ish. Okay, we about to get over this shit. We about to fuck. We about to eat. We about to play. We ain't about to be arguing and we no.
I can dig that. I can feel that for sure.
Who want to be stressed out when they come home every day?
Nobody. Not even a dog. Dog gonna run away. He's stressed out.
we not doing that.
And your partner should help you escape from the world.
It should be your peace.
Yeah, your peace, like your safe haven.
Yeah.
When you're around your partner, it should be nothing but just great energy, you know. Because society, like the world, is a messed up place. Like the world, all you see is negativity and toxic energy. So when you come home, you don't want to go 12 rounds with your significant other.
That part.
But a lot of times, like because people like that's why like when you're single, you could deal with doing inner work. Because a lot of people don't look at themselves internally, and they don't realize like a lot of people are chaotic within themselves, right? So they attract chaotic scenarios and circumstances to the point they become kind of in love with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is that's why people stay in toxic relationships. Like y'all heard of people arguing that they have sex after they argue. You know what I'm saying? Like. I don't talk to people who like that personally. I don't really want that.
What's that called? Makeup sex?
Makeup.
Now that's because that pain be so familiar.
Their comfort zone is chaos and drama. That's their comfort zone.
That pain be familiar.
Like that. You know, the relationship isn't working if you're not arguing, if you're not fighting. That's their comfort zone. That's all they know.
Jasmine, why we both hot?
You know,
y'all like those church ladies in church be fed themselves.
I'm in my room and I ain't got no air in my room. I'm not in my living room because of my baby, and I'm like, God damn.
Y'all got them church fans over there. Y'all silly.
Ladies, in your 30s and up, you understand. Like all of a sudden, I just get hot.
I'm ready to take this sweatshirt off, but you know, we
get there. You know, it's almost that time, and I'm like, oh, I'm still young.
What hot flashes?
Yes. I ain't got no problem.
We don't look it, but we almost 40. That part.
I'm already there. I'm already there.
I'm almost 40.
40 club. For real.
I'll be happy for no reason. I'll be at work chilling.
I'm gonna come up out this sweatshirt like, hold on.
Yep.
I was just cold. I was literally just cold. I'm having a sweatshirt. Now I'm ready to like, hold hold on.
And y'all ever been in a relationship with someone where they love to argue, like they love that toxic energy?
Yeah,
Like
used to be me. 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 That used to be me. I used to want to argue about everything.
So what made y'all change?
What made me change is growth, you know. And then I got tired, but really growth. Like, you know, I stopped and I learned my triggers, and what I really understood about myself was that it had nothing to do with my partner. It had everything to do with me. And because I grew up in so much trauma and so much chaos, that was my comfort zone. So I created it. I didn't know what joy and peace felt like. Even though that's what I wanted, what I knew was chaos. So I created chaos. My baby brought me this fan. See how sweet my baby is. You know I was hot.
What about you, Jazz? Like what made you like come to realization like this ain't what's up? Like,
baby, you ain't got time to them.
I think it was the I had a relationship that was just so traumatic. It was just horrible. We fought all the time. We damaged each other's property. Became abusive. And after that relationship, I was just tired. And I'm like, you know what? I can't do this no more. But in my following relationship, I became too passive. I wouldn't speak up for myself, because I didn't want the chaos or the trauma. But being quiet caused more trauma. So I think once I started really working on myself and learning my triggers and kind of working on things from my past, because I had a traumatic childhood, that helped me to kind of learn how to gauge better. So now I navigate and move much better.
Would you call it preventive measures?
Yeah. You know, communication. Like if you talk to a person and tell a person like how you feel and what triggers you and stuff like that, or like if you feel yourself getting angry, you can always kind of take a moment and sit back and okay, why am I angry? Where's this coming from? Is it really something they did? You know what I mean? So just kind of sitting down and gauging what's going on. And if it's something that they're continuing to do that's really triggering you, you can talk to that person about it like, hey, whenever you do this, it makes me feel like this, versus getting angry and arguing over it. So just learning how to communicate better when you need to.
And communication is definitely key. Like sometimes, you know, when you try to express how you feel, you try to communicate with your significant other, they will try to like they would like turn that into like you're trying to argue with them, but really you're just expressing how you feel within yourself. So, and that's kind of toxic in itself. But like when because communication is key. We all know communication is key in every relationship, but how many people actually comprehend what you're saying? You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like comprehension is just as much important as communication.
Agreed, 1,000%.
You know what I'm saying?
We're talking about those hints where you know whether you should walk away or not. If you're with somebody and you have to keep on repeating yourself and they're not comprehending what you're saying, or they comprehend what you're saying, but they don't give a shit about how you feel, then maybe you don't need to be in that situation, because anyone that truly loves you is going to try to understand or comprehend how you're expressing yourself, especially if it's a trigger or something that they know that can hurt you.
Yes.
And you know who listens to you? That work husband or that work wife will listen though, right?
Yeah, somebody who don't know what it's like.
Y'all ever had a work husband?
Don't ask that.
And they plead the fifth.
Don't ask that question.
Hey, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it.
But that's why it's important to know who you in a relationship with and know their capacity. Everybody ain't got the capacity, you know.
Hey, he was y'all's work husband because he was listening, wasn't he? He listened.
That part.
But that was the work. Listen to the call it a checkup on you, making sure you
That
made it.
part. You come into work. So how was last night? Did you
You
talk
was nice today. I noticed you did something different with your hair.
I'll be like, oh,
to change your hair.
you notice my hair? You be thinking that nigga ain't even say nothing.
Right. And what y'all be saying back?
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey.
I put a little extra curl in it today.
They accepted that lunch. They accepted that lunch that day. When he bought y'all lunch, I took that.
That part.
Yeah.
Hey, what is it? Man, listen.
That part.
If you think about it, like most infidelities, right, when people cheat, in more cases than not, it's with a co-worker.
Cause you with them all damn day.
Yeah, and listen, and this was even funny. It's a coworker that's married, and they know they got a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. None of that even matters at work. Let's talk about it.
So y'all. What about y'all work life?
Listen.
Hold on. Before y'all try to go, don't try to. Hold on, Jazz. Because have you ever like cheated on your significant other with a coworker?
No. Mentally. No, mentally.
You haven't? Stop lying.
I know, right? Hey, y'all been friends 30 years.
You can name it with who? Who I cheat on my significant with other with on the job?
You just said mentally. That already let me know.
I know, right? Hey, if it exists in the mental, it's bound to exist. It's bound to manifest in the physical. I'm just saying.
That part. And that's when you know the relationship over. I feel like when you want to cheat, the relationship is over.
Back.
It's over.
Hold on, wait. Before we continue, let me make a disclaimer here. Tish,
what up?
You are my best friend.
Yes.
Don't be putting me out like that.
We're being honest.
And we want all the tea.
We're being honest.
We want all the tea.
We're being honest though, because think about it. If you were in a relationship where you could go home and you could really like communicate with your partner, there would even be no need to cheat. And not that I'm blaming the other person for you cheating. All I'm saying is sometimes we create environments where people don't feel safe. So if I don't feel safe to come to you, I'm not going to come to you. But if I feel safe to go to Tommy, I'm going to go to Tommy. And if Tommy console me, I mean...
What,
you know,
hey, listen. Hey, guess what? Hold on. This is the crazy part. Whether Tommy got another chick married or not.
Now, ain't nobody say all that. You added that in. Ain't nobody say all that.
They ain't got to say it.
I'm not messing with no man that got another woman unless his woman know about me and we all messing together. But, you know, that's a whole nother story.
Tenfold.
Okay. So
I'm not gonna lie. One time in my life, I didn't care. But you know, we all evolve, we all grow.
Growth is a beautiful thing.
Beautiful.
So would y'all? Okay, since we talk about signs that the relationship is about over, would y'all say like when you ready to cheat on your partner, that means it's over? It's the finale. It's the end.
It doesn't have to be, but something. I feel like something about that structure probably needs to end.
And all my relationships after I cheated, it was over. Because I knew like it was a wrap. Because I'm going to tell on myself because that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you know what I did and then it's going to be a wrap. Like I know for me, I done lost all respect. And I'm going to tell you what I did because nigga, I want you to know. Okay?
So you ain't never.
I ain't never cheated. And I
hold on.
cheated because I wanted to hurt your ass, not to keep it a secret.
Hold on.
Oh wait.
Big
hold on, Queen. So you ain't never cheated on your significant other and stayed with him. So every guy you cheated on, you left.
Yes.
Every single one.
Every single one.
It's not one that you stayed with.
No. When I cheat, it take a lot for me to get there. So when I get there, I know it's over.
Jazz, you her friend,
your
man.
ass.
You did put your hair on the Bible, man.
All right, where's that? I don't believe in it, but where's that?
I don't think you tell the truth.
I'm Jasmine. She can speak for me. She know everything.
There was one where you stayed a little bit longer.
No, I didn't leave immediately after the cheat. Like I cheated.
You said you stayed a while.
But the relationship is over. Like after I cheat on you, it's over. We can't be together after I cheat on you. Because I'm gonna keep cheating on you. And then what's the point of being in a relationship if we cheating? That's stupid.
But sometimes, like if you really love your partner and you realize they cheated, sometimes the other person tries harder now. You know what I'm saying? So the things that they were lacking or the things that they wasn't doing, now they're starting to listen to you. Now they're starting to cater to your feelings, you know, to your emotions. Like sometimes, like infidelity can make you
be a wake-up call.
So you saying that sometimes the cheat is good?
And hell yes. In a lot of cases, cheating is good.
What? Okay, wait a minute.
Hell yeah.
So you gonna say, baby, I cheated on you so you can understand what you need to do better.
Well, apparently the reason why another man or woman existed in your partner's life is because there was something you was doing or something you wasn't doing. You know what I'm saying?
Is that always the case though? Couldn't it just be that I don't want your ass?
It's only I will say 90% of it is because something you was or wasn't doing. That 10% probably because it was just destined for you not to be with that person. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a whole spiritual reason. But a lot of people.
Or could it be that just when y'all ain't shit?
I mean, but there's guys or women that's in a relationship that have a high sex drive or a lot of sexual energy, aka hoes. They got a lot of sexual energy.
Whoa!
Hold on. Society, like niggas call them hoes. You know what I'm saying? Women who have a lot of sexual energy, niggas call them hoes, but I don't like to call them hoes. I call them.
Well, then I'm a motherfucking hoe.
Hold on, son. I got a quick question.
That's crazy. I have a lot of sexual energy and I'm not a whore.
No, right. I'm saying society labels people who have a high sex drive hoes. You know what I'm saying? I understand energy. So, but the average man's gonna call a woman, if a woman had a lot of sex partners, he's gonna call her a hoe. That's just fact. And you ain't even gotta have a lot of sex partners. A woman could fuck one nigga, and that nigga be like, "Oh, you a hoe," just because she fuck one dude.
Just because you have high sexual energy don't mean you fuck a lot of people. That's two different things.
That part.
I have high sexual energy, but I don't fuck a lot of people. Now, at one point, I've been out there in the streets when I was younger. However, I've grown. But I still have a high sexual energy. But at this point in my life, I'm not fucking a lot of people. I just want to fuck the one person I'm with all the time. Today, tomorrow, the day after that, in the morning, in the afternoon, because that's me.
What if he ain't got that sexual drive?
That's gonna be a problem.
Let's talk about it.
Person because of that. You have to be sexually compatible.
Let's talk about what makes cheating. It's the line part of it.
You're not honest. That's the only thing that makes cheating. When you're not honest.
Tell the truth.
That's it. Just tell the truth. I've been with a man and a woman in a relationship together, but we were honest. It wasn't cheating.
How did that go?
It was great. It was the best relationship I've ever been in.
Well, I personally, I have a blueprint that you could apply to your life that your mate will not cheat on you. I got a blueprint, and honestly. Yes, I do, and that's for another show. We ain't gonna get into that today, but yes, y'all know I'm a mastermind. I think a lot. I done came with a blueprint that 9 times out of 10, your significant other will not cheat on you if you do these things.
The ego of it all. That's telling people that people cheat because of you. People cheat because of them.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be some girl just want to cheat just cause of that.
Thank you.
That's the listen. That's the 10% I'm talking about. I said 9 times out of 10, not 10 out of 10. And let me tell y'all something, man. I talk to a lot of women. Y'all gotta realize I sold weed, man. I sold weed for 14. I sold weed for 14 years. But hey, Mr. Dark Matter, man, Mr. Dark Matter will see some. Mr. Dark Matter will see some.
I was a drug dealer.
No, I was a herbalist, and I heal people with the weed. I wasn't no drug dealer. Don't label me. I heal people.
That's a disclaimer. The Metaphysics of Love and Relationship podcast does not support drug use.
Hold on, man. Weed ain't a drug, man. Y'all gotta get that though. Weed, it's a seed, sunlight, and water, and it grows as natural, like any other fruit.
But when you light it, it becomes a chemical, and at that point, it's a drug.
It opens up your third eye, help you think more. That's why a lot of hippies in the 70s and 60s were smoking weed, and they ain't want to fight. It was just love and peace. Most people who smoke weed don't want to go shoot at the block. They be popping pills and drinking and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Can we get back to the cheating?
But listen, all I'm saying is
legal anyway, so I don't even know why we talking about it like it's 97 or something.
All I'm saying is this: I done talked to a lot of females in my life, and one thing I realized: more females were loyal to guys who was basically not shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they used to come to me and vent to me all the time, and you know I don't never give people advice or not. Really, when people vent to me, I just let them release because a lot of times they be having built up energy in their heart, so I just let them release as a form of healing. You know what I'm saying? But Mr. Dark Matter can vouch for me because he used to be over there. A lot of times women would come vent. All I'm saying is this: in more cases than not, especially women, they want to be loyal. They want to be in a loyal relationship.
I need that blueprint, man. How much you selling it for?
Okay, so can we have like an honest moment? In a book called The 4 Agreements, one of the 4 agreements is never take anything personal, right? When a person cheats on you, 100% of the time, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. And I say this because if you're in a relationship with someone that is not giving you what you need, the fact that you don't feel comfortable enough to end that relationship has nothing to do with the other person and everything to do with you. So me cheating and then saying like, it's your fault is completely manipulative and it's gaslighting. I cheated because I wanted to, and I didn't have the courage to leave or whatever the case may be, but it has nothing to do with the other person.
Yeah, but a lot of
people
ain't got the courage to say that,
and they don't want to be honest. And so they blame you and make you feel like if you were doing this or if you didn't do this, nah, nigga, I cheated because of me.
Or let me even go further. A lot of people ain't got the courage to even think that about themselves.
We got to start being honest with ourselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you made that decision and it has nothing to do with the other person, in my opinion. So I don't think there's anything that you can do per se to make someone not cheat on you.
I agree to a certain extent, but in a lot of cases, your partner expressed to you how they're feeling about the whole relationship. And a lot of times, like people who's not consciously aware of their significant other, they will ignore that. And so what happens is that's why somebody exists in the first place, because you ignore your partner's feelings. Whatever they was trying to express to you, you ignored it. So your partner basically try to let you know, like, listen, this need to happen, or this need to change, or I feel like you should be put more energy into this. And what happens when your partner is not trying to listen, then that's how other people exist in the first place.
But don't you? So if you're in a relationship with someone who does not know how to effectively communicate, does not listen to you, and you choose to stay and then eventually end up cheating, whose fault is that?
It's your fault.
See, personal responsibility be a motherfucker. because it's so easy to blame the other person. But you know, because it takes a lot of courage to be like, you know what, this ain't working for me. And so instead of just cheating on you and lying to you, let me just leave.
But and the person that wasn't listening to their partner got to take self accountability too, because they got to be like, man, I should have listened because they opened up to me. They expressed to me how they were feeling, and I was selfish enough. Because when you're in a relationship, you have to think about this. Your other partner, you got to. This selfish just to think about your own wants and needs and not even listen to your partner.
Unfortunately, they don't think like that.
No. Thinking about your partner and taking ownership of their actions are two different things. Two completely different things. Me taking ownership of your actions and me thinking about your feelings are two different things. Like, I cannot take ownership of what you decide to do. Now, me not listening to you, that's a whole separate issue.
So what issue? What are we gonna call that issue?
What that issue is, listen, if you're in a relationship with someone and you don't feel as though their needs are important to you, I don't need to be with that person. I'm not going to be with Randall if I don't value him and I don't feel like his needs are important. Why am I with him? That is stupid. That's counterproductive.
But we realize a lot of people are in toxic relationships for whatever reason. We just, at the beginning of the show, we talked about like why people stay in relationships that's destructive. We already know that. But have y'all ever heard of someone that's happily married or happily in a union with someone else and they stepped out the relationship?
So when you say step out, you mean like
cheated.
Their partner knew about it or they lied about it?
Cheated.
Yeah, cheated and he didn't know about it. Hold on, cheated and then told it.
I mean, yes, and it was something that they worked through.
No, I'm talking about someone who was genuinely happy, not just with themselves, but with their partner too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know personally.
I never seen that.
I don't know anyone that has ever cheated on their partner and was like, yeah, I'm totally happy with them and I'm totally happy in this relationship. I just don't.
That's my point. Listen, when you
well, Jazz did. So let's hear from Jazz.
Maybe I misunderstood what y'all said. I thought y'all meant like overall, like in a happy relationship. You know, I've seen people in long-term relationships
that's where you're talking about.
Unfaithful to the other person, but they were able to work it out. But were they happy at that time? More than likely not.
And let's be clear. I don't think the wanting to be with another person outside of your partner means you're unhappy. I think the need to lie about it and be deceitful may be a sign of unhappiness. And that could be unhappiness within yourself or with your partner. Because as someone, like, I could be with someone and be completely happy with that individual, but that doesn't automatically stop my wanting to be with another person physically. But if I'm in a relationship where I feel safe and we communicate and I can communicate to my partner, hey, I love you. I want to physically be with someone else, but it has nothing to do with you, right? That's completely different from someone cheating. That's completely different from someone like lying and being dishonest. So the need or the wanting to be with someone outside of your partner, that I don't think that means that you're unhappy or there's something wrong with your partner, because that's just not how everyone is built. Some people have the capacity to love and be with more than one person. And I don't think that being in a relationship means you're going to be with one person for the rest of your life, unless that's something that you and that person agree to.
I feel you. In my 40 years, people who was, and I've been around a lot of people who was genuinely happy. I never seen it personally. I never seen it, but I'm not saying it doesn't exist, because we all know everything under the sun exists. There's, you know what I'm saying? Like anything you could think of, it exists. You feel me? But our experiences is what shape our truth. That's why there's no book that can tell you the truth. Like your experiences, your soul is the best book to read. You know what I'm saying? Because in each lifetime you go through different experiences, different scenarios, and that will shape your truth. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and we can all agree to disagree. You feel me?
I feel like we all kind of saying the same thing, though. I agree with what you're saying. I think that if you are in a monogamous relationship and you are genuinely happy with your partner, why are you lying and cheating? Something is wrong. I don't think you're genuinely happy with your partner if you're lying and cheating. If you're in a monogamous relationship, I agree with you.
So let's break up chronic cheaters, though. People who cheat on everyone they're in a relationship with. They're genuinely unhappy with themselves.
My ex.
I mean, anytime you gotta lie,
could that be that they're genuinely unhappy with
themselves?
With
some type of insecurity if you gotta lie all the time. You know what I'm saying?
And they seek happiness in other places.
I think that's selfish, because if you know that you don't want to be with one person, why get in a relationship? Just do you. I never understood that with people.
That's fact.
I never understood people who know that they want to be with multiple people, but then agree to be in these monogamous relationships. Like, why put yourself through the stress of having to lie and corrupt shit? And like, why do that? Why do people do that? That's a great. I want to know that.
I don't understand it either.
They get hit by Cupid and they fall in love, and they be like, "Man, I don't want to see this dude be with nobody else," or "Man, I don't want to see this dude be with nobody else." That's usually what be happening. It happens to the best of the best of them. It'd be
what
so
happens?
It be happening to some of the best of them.
What happens?
They get shot by Cupid and be like, "Man, I don't want to see this person with somebody else." That's what be happening.
Ain't that kind of selfish though?
Hey, that's what love is, ain't it?
No.
You want this person to be in a relationship with you and only you.
Whoa.
That's not selfish.
That's
not selfish. Hold on, time out. You want this person to be in a relationship.
I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. So
you know that you a hoe, for lack of better words. You know you want to be with multiple people. You find somebody and you're like, you know what? I know I'm a hoe. I know I'm not ready to settle down, but I love them and I don't want to see them with anybody else. So I'm going to lie to them and lie to myself and make myself believe that I could be monogamous. Is that what happened?
My fault, y'all. My camera, man. I'm sorry, Tish. You gotta say that again.
Okay, so you know that you like to be with multiple women. You know this about yourself, right? But you meet a person and you're like, yo, I really love this person. I don't want to see them with anyone else, but I know I can't be faithful. But I'm going to lie to them and lie to myself and make myself believe I can be monogamous because I know that I can't be.
Hold on, man. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, Tish. I'm having technical difficulties. Hold on.
Okay.
Did Jazz leave?
Did we lose Jazz? She's back. She's muted though.
I'm back, guys.
You back, Jazz? Mm-hmm. Can everybody hear everybody?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
All right. So I came up with some points, right? Because we talk about like signs, how you know like your relationship is about to end or it needs to end, or it's like the basically the end of the road. Y'all know I came up with some points, so I just wanted to give some little signs to the audience. If y'all want to chime in, feel free. Man, I definitely would love to hear y'all's opinion on this. All right.
Okay.
All right. So one of the signs that you know, like your relationship is about to end, or is coming to a conclusion is when your partner avoids spending time with you.
Mm.
They start making excuses why they ain't got time for you. You know what I'm saying? They quit putting that effort in. Um, for whatever reason, like maybe I used to spend a lot of time before, but they don't spend as much time with each other. That's a clear indicator right there that um, your partner is the relationship is about to end.
I
So what
agree.
y'all think?
Yeah, I agree. Unless they have a valid reason, if they're working a lot at the time, or they have other things in their life going on.
What's a valid reason you think?
Like, let's say their work
Work.
schedule. Like at one time in a relationship I had, I was working 2 jobs. We couldn't spend a lot of time together. So it could be things like that.
Yeah, but you're not avoiding to spend time. You're going to work. You're just handling business. I'm talking about avoiding making excuses. I feel like if you work in 2 jobs, you're not making excuses. You just at work.
I agree. Like if it gets to the point to where you're making excuses, like you don't feel like going nowhere, you don't feel like doing nothing, or something always coming up when it's time for y'all to spend time together. I feel like because I think that and when me and Tish had a talk the other day, she said that people, they make time for things that they value, no matter what.
No matter
Well,
what.
I know some people who lie and say they going to work and they ain't going to work. They going to that creep house.
Oh
Or they
wow.
creep.
Wow.
I'm just saying some people say they working a double and nigga they ain't going to work all day. I'll just be 100. Like at least your ass was clocking in, Jazz. At least he was clocking in. Hey, your intentions was pure. You feel me? All right. Another point when you know your relationship about to end is when you feel like a totally different person than you were before or in the beginning.
That's a good one, in my opinion. Well, if I look at it from the perspective that I was in a very long relationship, and we grew apart. We grew to be two totally different people. I remember he used to always say, "No, I miss the old Jazz. I miss the old Jazz." But of course, I had grown from being who I once was. So, in that situation, I would say, yeah, I agree. What y'all think?
Oh no, I don't think I agree with it.
You don't agree with what you said?
I don't know. I'm on the fence.
Why?
Why?
Hey, why you don't agree, Mr. Dark Matter? You gonna tell us, bro? Like,
But what?
we waiting, bro.
Straight cliffhanger. Like I don't think I agree.
I already made a disclaimer earlier that my son was something back and forth bothering me. Did you listen? So maybe that might be one of your reasons what's going on. Maybe you need to look at yourself, man. Do you be listening?
Hell no, I'm listening, nigga.
Exactly. So let's talk about it.
All right, man. All right, my fault, God, body. My fault.
Anyway, I forgot your question now. You done made me forget.
What's another reason?
Another reason is you are no longer each other's go-to person.
Oh man,
I don't know.
I've seen this on Google too.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't know.
I don't know because me and Jasmine, and I know this is a friendship, but we used to be each other's go-to person. I don't know if we're each other's go-to anymore. But our friendship is still strong and we still love each other. Would you agree?
I agree.
I mean, if you was in a relationship, like
I don't think your significant other always your go-to person.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think in some relationships,
sometimes you got OGs. Sometimes you got OGs like your grandma or somebody like that might still be living that can still be your go-to person.
Yeah. In some of my relationships, like Jasmine was my go-to person, not my partner.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like your partner is not always going to be your go-to person.
They don't
You might
always
have
have
some,
the capacity.
you might have some partners that might be jealous because they're not your go-to person. That might be a problem you may run into in your relationship.
I had that problem. He didn't like you, Jasmine, and you knew that.
You don't come to me. What?
You thought me and Jasmine was
I don't
fucking
have to
because she
come
was
to
my
you for
go-to.
everything.
Who didn't
Like,
like me?
Remember the one guy who thought we was fucking because you was my go-to person?
I don't
But
think none of
y'all do each other way before him. I mean, that's crazy. Y'all got like open showers and all that stuff.
Huh, what you say?
Any of your boyfriends ever like me?
No.
No, not even my brother. No.
Yeah, I dated her brother for 7 years, and I don't think he liked you. He used to be mad, like he did not like our friendship. That was weird.
All right. Another point is your relationships start to feel dry and boring.
I agree, because we should always be having fun. We should always be having fun. We should always be laughing. We should always be having fun. When we can't have fun, I'm out. I done checked out, and I'm having fun with my work husband. I'm just playing.
Your work husband? I know that.
I'm just playing.
No, you ain't. No, you ain't.
I'm just saying, like, who want to be in a boring ass, stale ass relationship? Like, motherfucker, we supposed to be laughing and having fun. Like, I can't do that boring shit. No.
You agree? You agree, Jazz?
I think a relationship killer is becoming complacent. And I think that it's extremely important to always do things together to kind of keep that spark, or to constantly work at keeping that spark, because it's easy to get comfortable, and then it becomes boring. Tish, you muted. Unmute yourself.
I know I'm muted because I'm talking to my baby. London was having a conversation with me. I apologize. But yeah, like, who want to be in a boring ass relationship? That's stupid. You might as well be single. That's dumb. Like, people who in boring ass relationships, why? Like, if we ain't laughing and having fun, why are we together? Why are we spending time together? Like, if I'm looking at you like, and you looking at me like, the fuck we together for? Like, that's stupid. Mm-mm. We need to be laughing and having fun.
You are not growing in your relationship. That's another sign too.
Some people ain't growing by themselves.
That part.
But don't get in a relationship.
That part.
Sometimes your partner keep you stagnant. That part.
We gotta talk about that though.
Sometimes your partner keep you stagnant. That part.
That's back to a self-accountability thing, though. You allowed your partner to keep you stagnant.
Yeah, that's true, but
about staying in a relationship, you right.
Your partner be giving that ugly ass energy, man. Sometimes you get caught up in that shit, which is your fault. But when you go home to constant bullshit ass energy, sometimes it's hard not to get caught up. Like, you think about, have you ever just been in a relationship and every time you go home, you know this motherfucker got an attitude, and you automatically get an attitude when you go home? You'll be happy all day. And when you get in the house, you be like, man.
You be mad before you even get home.
You know, like, so people got to be responsible for the energy they bring.
I agree.
Some people be bringing that stale ass energy, and they be like, "What's wrong with you? Yo, energy, nigga. What are we doing?"
Well, that energy a bad motherfucker.
That part. A motherfucker not happy with themselves, and then they bring all that crazy, nasty energy to you. And you know what I'm saying? You might be having a bad day already. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot to fight. That's why I said, if we're not laughing and having fun, what are we doing?
We're just spending money, arguing, fuck.
That part. And half the time, right? And half the time, the sex ain't good if the energy ain't right. So think about it. The energy fucked up. The sex ain't good. Like, what are we together for? Because if the energy trash, the sex probably trash.
Since you probably ain't even having sex.
That part. And if you are, you ain't having an orgasm, and that's just stupid.
Even though I ain't never had no problems.
All right. You don't feel love or wanted.
Oh boy.
Yep.
I definitely agree. It's crazy. It's crazy to not to feel wanted, bro. It's like after knowing that you so wanted and be in a relationship and be like, how do I feel not wanted? This shit is
that
crazy.
Part.
That's a crazy feeling, boy. I swear to God. That's a crazy feeling. It's like,
try having a person tell you they don't want you and you still
what the fuck is wrong in here, man? Something ain't right. Why am I not running? How the fuck?
That's crazy. Like, you ever just sit back and think about some of the crazy ass relationships you stayed in when you knew you should have left? Like, imagine a person literally telling you they don't want your ass and you still stay. That's baby. That's important. Like, if you don't want to affirm your partner, you shouldn't be with them, because that's so important to affirm your partner. Like, you know what I mean? You have to make your partner feel wanted and loved and needed and appreciated and affirmed. And if you don't want to do that, again, why are you with this person? Like, you know,
no. Let's go further. Why are you trying to be in a relationship with anybody?
Exactly. I've never understood
a girl or a man, same sex, whoever the fuck.
I literally just asked my friend this the other day. I asked him, I said, if you don't want to like be sweet with your partner, if you don't want to give her compliments, why y'all together? Like, if you don't want to affirm her, if you don't want to be affectionate with her, why are y'all together?
Or him or her. That's with any human being.
No, I'm just saying, this is what I was asking my friend who's in a relationship. And I'm just like, why are y'all together? Like, that sounds crazy to me. And he, you know what he said? She should know I love her. She should know I think she's beautiful.
But listen, you know how many men in relationships feel like that?
I could not be in that type of relationship.
You should know I love you, baby.
That's crazy.
Every night I gotta prove my love.
But you know what? I guess some people should like that part. Some people should like be in those type of relationships. That's weird to me.
You silly, man.
People who are like in like affectionate, like non-affectionate relationships.
Hey, well, I be seeing that in real life, boy. It be like that for some dudes, bro. Real talk. Every night they gotta prove they love that.
Hey, the last point is
what's that?
Every conversation turned to arguments.
Boy, I agree.
That part.
Like, God damn, it's time to end this shit, man. God damn.
You say hi to you without being an argument.
Right.
When you be like, you want me to shoot myself? God damn it, I'm ready to go. Can I move to another planet? The fuck?
That part. You can't even do nothing nice and you arguing like, that's
damn. I got a problem with the meal I bought. Like, God,
that part.
The peace officer. Oh, I don't eat that. God, we arguing about that. God,
you brought me pizza home, nigga. You know I don't eat pizza. Whoa. Well, I was just trying to feed you. Like, whoa. Yeah.
God damn. What he say? Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. That's fire right there. God damn, like you trying to burn something up.
Juice, I think you have very valid points. Those are some great, hints and clues for anyone out there who may not know, like, whether it's the end for them or not, or what's going on with them or not. That's a good thing those are some good indicators to look at. Does anyone have anything else?
Of like when you know it's time to leave, when the sex is whack, when the sex ain't good no more.
Hey, listen, you gonna be but we need to talk about that.
Let's let it start some swag from the beginning. Sometimes experience
that's what I'm saying. I'm over here thinking like, man, that's crazy because my sex ain't never whack. It don't matter if the relationship good or terrible. You gonna get that. You gonna get that premium gas every time.
But if it's, I'm telling you, like if that connection be dead, sometimes
Whack.
We may not.
That connection means a lot. That connection that goes a long way.
That connection will make you think that nigga got the best dick ever. Okay, and then after the connection, now you be like, damn, that nigga was mediocre. Like, what?
Yeah.
He was subpar. It was not the best dick I ever had in my life. Like,
right.
Like I spent
hold on. Let me ask this. You say that, so you can have a connection, the same connection with. What if you had a connection and he ain't got the right size? Is that so? Let's talk about that.
Size don't matter.
Okay. So that's or whatever the fuck.
A little bit, but it don't.
So the question I'm asking, can you have a connection and the sex ain't good? That's the question I'm asking.
Absolutely.
So how does one deal with that?
Well, see, it depends. For me, I'm an emotional type person, right? Before we could even get to sex, you gotta like mind fuck me, right? So once you mind fuck me, honestly, you gotta be good, but you get some leeway in that bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like your mind, your connection, it makes it that much better. Like I've never had a connection with a person and the sex wasn't bomb. However, I've lost the connection with the person and realized, damn, that sex wasn't that good. That dick just wasn't that good. It was the connection. The connection be everything. That energy be everything. Like it can literally make you think that you got the best dick in your life. And it's like,
right. And hold on. And that's why, remember you asked that question, why do people be in relationships or get in relationships when they don't really want to be in a relationship? It's that motherfucking connection.
I agree. The connection definitely make the sex spectacular.
There you go right there. There you go right there.
Make the sex everything. And even when you dealing with a dude that got that fire bomb ass everything, he could have bomb head, bomb dick, and y'all lose y'all connection. The dick is whack at that point. Like I've been with a dude and it was like, yes, genuinely, he had great peen. The head was great, but once we lost our connection, I was like, no, I don't even want it. I don't even want it. Like the connection be everything. Everything. That's why size don't always matter.
Hey, that connection have y'all could be in two different countries and you feel aroused by the other person's energy.
That part. That had a whole orgasm over the phone. Just goddamn. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. What about that one connection where, you know what I mean, it'll never get disconnected?
Well, what you mean?
They get married, nigga. They have kids.
Yeah, like
Mr. Dark Matter talking about you being a whole different relationship, but you still be feeling connected to the past person from like 20
years. Yeah, they ain't ready for that talk.
I've been there before. It's time to leave that current relationship and be with the person you connected with. That's how I feel. Life's too short not to be happy. Like we ain't getting no younger. When I was younger and I thought I had time, then yeah. At this point in my life, like life's too short to be unhappy. So if I make a connection with somebody that's bomb as fuck, like we gonna do this. We're gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. Like I'm not about to spend any more time in my life having no fake ass relationship. I'm just not doing. I'm happy by myself. I have peace by myself. So I'm not gonna like give all that up for some fake shit. Like if we're gonna be together, we got a bomb ass connection. We're gonna be together. We're gonna do this. Like why are we gonna be like, oh no, we can't be? Nah, we ain't doing it.
I agree.
Like
On that
Lord,
note,
be happy.
I know that's right. On that note, if everybody can tell anybody who wants to contact them what they do or they have any services to offer. We'll start with you, Beauty by Bangs.
I do hair. I do makeup. I do skincare consultations. I make shea butter. You know, catch me at Beauty by Bangs on Instagram.
Beauty by Bangs on Instagram. Mr. Dark Matter.
Mr. Dark Matter, Instagram, Randall Patterson, Facebook. I'm just doing me daily.
Juice the Metaphysical.
Juice the Metaphysical, Instagram, Michael Myers, Facebook, Juice the Metaphysical, YouTube, and go check out the page, the community page, Metaphysics of Love and Relationships. And, yeah.
Oh, I do have a YouTube. I forgot. My YouTube is also Beauty by Bangs, and I do all skincare stuff on my YouTube channel. So check me out. I am currently doing consultations.
Okay, so of course, like Just the Metaphysical said, you can follow us on the Metaphysics of Love and Relationships podcast on YouTube. We also have a Facebook page on, a Facebook page, and we also have an IG page, which is the MOLR podcast. All the links are in the description. If you would like to reach me for any services, please visit my website at www.jazzandmedium.com. The way to contact us and everything is all included in the links. And thank you so much for coming and sitting in on our talks and supporting us. We appreciate everything. I hope everyone has. We missed you too, girl. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Did y'all miss me?
Welcome back.
Did y'all miss me?
We did miss you.
No, I missed y'all.
I'm gonna go ahead and end this, but I need everyone to stay on, okay?